Did you know that SharePoint has some special powers when it comes to searching content? It's been a part of SharePoint for a while now, but there's a way to leverage this in your Copilot agents. It will really improve them also. I'm going to break down one of these powers and how to use it in your agents. Let's get into it. One of the special types of sites you can have in SharePoint is called a home site. It's different than a hub site, but it does serve a similar purpose. Now, you may have hub sites to serve as like the main site of a cluster of sites, like an intranet. But a home site is the main site of your entire SharePoint environment. But there's one main feature or kind of the special ability of how that particular site works once you designate it as a home site. Now, I've already set mine to the root site of my SharePoint environment. If you don't know which of your sites is the home site, you may not even have one set up yet, then there is a setting in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center where you can kind of mark one site as your home site. But let's get into an agent setup and I'll show you how this special ability works. So I'm logged in as Judy Hops right now. I'm in the Copilot app. And let's click on Create Agent. Let's start building out our agent. And if you think that I'm going to give away what this special ability is by the name of this agent, then you're wrong, because I'm just going to use my cool agent as the name. So you'll have to just keep following along to know how this particular behavior works when you use a home site. For the description, we're just going to put in here, this is a test agent. And instructions. Now, the agent instructions are one of the most crucial pieces of an agent. You really have to get these things right, especially for a more complex agent, something that has to follow, a particular process, or there's step-by-step things it should be doing to fulfill its duties as how you've designed this thing. In this case, we're just going to be letting this thing search content. So I'm just going to put in here one simple thing here. You are a helpful agent that helps people find information in SharePoint. And in this case, I don't need to define really anything else in here. If it was a production agent, there would be a lot more guardrails, and you would know what those guardrails would be and the different things that the agent has to be taught how to do based on all of your requirements of your use case. But what we'll do here is we'll go into the knowledge, because we're going to be adding SharePoint as a knowledge source. To do that, what I'm going to do is I can just type in the word home, because the title of my root site is called home. So home may not work for you because your home or your root site, whichever site you're using, may have a different title. So I called mine home, so I can always reference it very easily. So once we've added that in here, you'll see down under SharePoint the home entry, and we can click on it and go to it, whatever. But we've got our data source in here. I don't need to turn on anything else in here. I could say only use specified sources. There's no harm in that, but I'll just leave these off for now, just to demonstrate this one piece of functionality that a lot of people miss. We'll get right back to the video, but real quick, Copilot is really great for working with your data, but how are you protecting that data? If you don't have a backup and recovery strategy, here's your wake-up call. Think your cloud data is safe just because it's in Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace? Think again. Accidental deletions, ransomware, and compliance gaps can still put your business at risk. AFI is a next-gen backup and recovery platform built for modern cloud environments, including Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, Azure, AWS, and Kubernetes. It offers full fidelity restores, encrypted full-text search, version history, and even self-service recovery, so users can get back data without waiting on IT. And when ransomware hits, AFI detects it early and automatically backs up your data before damage is done. Over 10,000 organizations trust AFI to protect their cloud data. If you care about uptime, compliance, and peace of mind, it's time to back up smarter with AFI. Under capabilities, I don't need to turn any of these things on. By the way, I understand I'm going through this agent creation pretty fast. It's just so that I can get straight to this really, really fun trick that you can do. But if you want a more in-depth guide with how to build agents with Copilot Studio Lite, which is what we're using here, it has a name, even though they don't really call it that in the interface. If you want kind of a quick start guide to getting up to speed with this thing really quick with one particular use case, then check the description below for my Copilot Studio Lite Quick Start course. It has helped a lot of people, and it will get you up to speed lightning fast. For suggested prompts, we can enter in what is the policy office security policy. I need to do something shorter. Office security policy. And then for the message, this is going to actually be our prompt. And this will just give us a quick way to test this thing out. I don't need to do anything else in here because what we've done already turns on this trick. So we'll click on create, and then we'll go to the agent now that it's all ready. And we've got our first starter prompt here. We can just click on this and say, what is the office security policy? Probably should have put a question mark in there, right? Because it is a question we're asking. And now, so we've grounded on the root site of SharePoint. I'm looking for content that's not in that root site. It's in a different site. And we will see that it actually pulled the office security policy from the HR site. I didn't ground on the HR site. Why is it pulling from that? I told it to use this SharePoint site. This is the trick. So let's pull up this site so I can show you or prove to you that this it's pulling from here. Let's go into site contents. And it pulled from this policies library. Here is the office security policy that it referenced when it gave me this response and a full breakdown of the office security policy. So why did it pull from the HR site when I told it to ground on my home site? That's the special trick with home sites. When you search the home site or you use the home site for grounding, it searches all of SharePoint, the entire SharePoint environment. You can set this trick up with other types of sites. It does involve some PowerShell, but right out of the box, it works great with the whatever you set as your home site, because it changes the search scope in SharePoint to basically a global, a tenant-wide search, which will also work with your Copilot agent. So this is a really quick way of searching everything in SharePoint without having to specify all of those different sites. This is a great use case if you want an agent to help your employees find content in SharePoint no matter where it is. Well, assuming they've got access to it anyway. So just a really great tip for you to keep in mind when you're working with SharePoint grounding sources, because of course, SharePoint is the number one cited source of any Copilot response. It's all because it's where we keep all of our information. It's the backbone of, in my opinion, the backbone of M365 in general. So let me know what you think of this trick. If you knew about this, let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see another great Copilot agent video, then just click or tap the screen and I'll see you over there.